And welcome to Prime Business. My name is James Eshen. To our very first story now, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiama, says the central bank will remain firm on consolidating recent economic gains in 2026 while enforcing greater discipline net policy direction. According to him, the bank's focus for the year will be measured and well anchored on monetary policy aimed at sustaining price. Dr. Isiama made this known at the Bank of Ghana's Governor's New Year media engagement. Here is more. Isiama at the media engagement explained that monetary policy will remain cautious, measured and forward-looking, with a strong emphasis on price stability as the anchor for all policy decisions.
Friends, with stability restored now, 2026 is about consolidation and discipline. The bank's focus this year is to embed the reforms of the past period into routine practice and ensure that stability translates into durable confidence, effective intermediation, and predictable markets. Monetary policy will remain measured and forward-looking, anchored on price stability and supported by clear signaling and consistent liquidity management.
The governor of the Bank of Ghana also warned that its policy decisions will not be influenced by market speculation, public pressure, or short-term sentiment, reinforcing its commitment to a measured and data-driven approach.
We do not respond to pressure, we do not respond to speculation, and we do not respond to sentiment. We respond to evidence, we respond to risks, and we respond to the medium-term outlook for price and financial stability. Second, we prioritize stability over speed. In rebuilding credibility and restoring order, quick fixes.
The New Year media engagement forms part of the central bank's effort to improve transparency and communication while providing clarity on its policy direction for the year ahead as Ghana continues its broader economic recovery. Now, still within the central bank, first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Zakari Mumuni, has described Ghana's improved economic performance as timely and positioned to attract more strategic foreign investment. He made the remarks at the launch of the ACI World Congress. Here is more.
Ghana has officially secured the bid to host the ACI World Congress 2026, making the return of the prestigious global financial markets event to sub-Saharan Africa after nearly 2 decades. The Congress will take place in May 2026, bringing together financial market professionals, policymakers, and industry leaders from more than 60 countries. Speaking at the official launch, the first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Zakari Mumuni, described the achievement as a major milestone for Ghana, noting that it underscores the country's growing relevance and credibility within the global financial markets.
Ghana's selection to host this prestigious event marks a significant milestone for our country and for our financial markets. It is indeed a testament to Ghana's growing reputation as a stable and credible financial hub. The Bank of Ghana is indeed proud to support this initiative. Hosting the Congress provides a unique platform to strengthen our financial infrastructure, deepen international partnerships, and showcase Ghana's progress in global finance. Collaboration between regulators and market participants is essential to maintain the trust and promote transparency and advance innovation in our markets.
President of the ACI Ghana, Lawrence Bwampom, described the hosting right as a significant opportunity for Ghana to showcase the depth and resilience of its financial markets while strengthening its position in global finance.
It's a very big opportunity and critical for us, especially at the time we find ourselves as an economy. After DDP, we've seen a lot of efforts by the government to put us on that path of recovery. And of course, we saw how inflation performed last year. We've seen some stability in currency. And of course, a lot of investors are asking themselves what's happening in Ghana. They want to be a part of this success story. So we think that this conference or this Congress is at the right time to give Ghana that visibility, that appeal that we need on the international market. I think it's very timely for us. It opens our market up. It brings in a lot of capital inflows for investors who are looking to enter or access the Ghanaian market, and not just Ghana, Africa as a whole.
The ACI World Congress is the flagship event of the ACI Financial Markets Association, serving as a key platform for dialogue, networking and partnership building among global financial market stakeholders. Ghana's selection makes it the second African country to host the Congress and the first to do so in 17 years.
Now, away from that, implementation of the artificial intelligence system at the country's port is expected to begin from 1st February 2026. This is part of the ongoing reforms expected to enhance efficiency at the port. Speaking to journalists on the implementation of a new system known as Publican, Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Anthony Kwesi Sapon, hinted that all processes are cleared for the rollout in February. Here is more. As part of the processes to get the system rolled out successfully, the Ministry of Finance and the Ghana Revenue Authority engaged stakeholders, including the media, to take their feedback on its implementation. According to the GRA, this will be managed by the Customs Division and will enhance efficiency. Commissioner General Anthony Kwesi Sapon told Joy Business in an interview that the road is cleared for a kickoff from February.
Operations. Indeed, we've done a lot of work in the course of 2025. We've done our proof of concept. We've done pilot. We've gone to Parliament to seek the necessary approvals, and we believe that we are set to implement this. So on 1st February, we are set to implement this tool at our entry points. That is going to, one, help our officers to process declarations efficiently and faster. We also believe that it's going to help us to bring parity in terms of determination of duties, and so that all importers will be able to have to pay the duties as appropriately. And also, thirdly, to ensure that we augment and raise the necessary revenues that we need for the state.
Deputy Minister for Finance, Farmers and Pimyako is positive that the system will eliminate under-invoicing at the port.
Companies like Nutrade Limited, EasyP Enterprise, Me Port Trading Agency, BD Nibana Limited, Rafano Frozen Foods, to mention a few, have been under-declaring and misdescribing the value and type of the goods imported. And all these people have been confronted and they have confessed to these crimes. It is against this background that government recognizes the urgent need for a more advanced digital inspection and analytics framework, one that can inspect every shipment document, cross-check it with reliable global sources, match transacting entities to identify high-risk and fraudulent shipments in real time.
Government is expecting to increase revenue by more than 40% from the port. Now, let's do some petroleum stories. And the National Petroleum Authority is rejecting proposals to remove the price floor program so that the various players can determine their values without restrictions. It follows push by some oil marketing companies for the policy to be scrapped for prices to reduce further. But speaking in an interview with Joy Business, Head of Economic Regulation at the National Petroleum Authority, Abbas Tasunti insists current development in the market still warrant this policy to protect consumers.
We've heard some of these comments, but it's important we understand the relevance of the price floor and why it was introduced in the first place. So if you recall, 2 years ago, the discussion about unfair price undercutting and unfair market practices came up. And this was because we had done an assessment of the price regulation policy since it was implemented in 2015. And one of the major concerns that came up from both the oil marketing companies and the bulk distribution companies at the time was price undercutting. We must understand that in as much as the market is deregulated, the regulator NPA is there to protect both the consumer and the petroleum service provider, which is the oil marketing company. In this case, if we don't have fair competition on the market and the market collapses, we are going to struggle as an economy. And therefore, the regulator's job is to ensure that there's what we call full cost recovery of investment. So there's a policy, there's a pricing formula that is used by all oil marketing companies. And in this formula, there are certain components that the oil marketing companies control, and there are certain components they have no control over. So if you look at our formula, you realize that there's the FOB price as world market price, which we have a way to determine that. There are other costs that are fixed and apply to all players. The new regulation actually allows the oil marketing companies to determine their own margins, and that is where the competition is.
Now, Chief Executive Officer of the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation, Dr. Tony Obin, has declared 2026 as the year of action for the Petroleum Hub. According to Dr. Obin, 2026 is the year when the hard work invested in the project over the years will translate into tangibles on-site action in the Jomoro municipality of the Western region. He stated that 2026 represents a critical milestone for the corporation as it shifts focus to actual groundwork in Jomoro.
This year, 2026, is a critical year for the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation. This is a year that we want to see action. We want to see that we move from talk to action. And we're very hopeful that this would happen, especially thanks to the vision of His Excellency, the President. The President has been very supportive. People don't see the open support that he gives us, but really he's been extremely supportive of the hub. He invited us to do a presentation to him, and after that, what has happened have been very massive and been very much in line with where we want to go. So we are very hopeful that this year is going to be the year where we move from talk to some action. We have also seen the unflinching support of our Minister, Dr. John Jinapo. Our Minister has been very supportive, has always been reassuring, been looking for opportunities for this project to take off, and we're very happy and grateful to him.
You're still watching Prime Business. Now, the Ghana Mine Workers Union has renewed its call for a review of the country's labor laws, highlighting concerns over workers' rights violations, job insecurity, and threat to social protection cover. According to General Secretary of the Union, Abdul Mumin Gbana, the increasing reliance on contract and temporary employment has weakened job security and limited access to adequate worker protections. He is therefore urging government and stakeholders to prioritize labor law reforms as part of broader efforts to promote decent work and sustainable growth in the mining industry. He spoke to Joy Business.
I think that I will use this opportunity to call on the Minister for Employment and also the tripartite partners, the Ghana Employers Association and also organized labor led by the TUC. It's important that we get back to the table. The labor law review is long overdue. We've made substantial progress, and I do not see why we can't close it out. Let's get it closed out. Let's offer Ghanaian workers some decent protections, because increasingly Ghanaian workers are being exposed and undermined. And I do not think that in 21st century Ghana we should allow that to happen. It's also important that this labor law reform happens, because if you look at the influx of Chinese investment into Ghana, which is a crucial matter for the Ghana Mine Workers Union. Investment is important. Investment is good. It affords opportunity. It affords us the opportunity to be able to, create jobs for the teeming young men and women. But investment must be of a certain quality. And so it's not just every FDI that is FDI. FDI that is driven against the backdrop of decent, sustainable employment is FDI that we must encourage. But you have Chinese investment in this country. Unfortunately, their labor standards are very poor. Chinese companies in this country, there's abundance of empirical evidence pointing to the fact that their labor standards are really, really poor. And it's important that we gauge the kind of investment that gets into this country. And it's not as if we do not have a choice. We have a choice to determine which investment comes in here and which investment doesn't come in here.
Now, even as smartphones and digital planners dominate how people organize their daily lives, Ghana's printing industry is feeling the pressure. Some printing businesses are recording sharp declines in calendar and diary orders as few brands continue to rely on printed materials to sustain visibility and strengthen customer relationships. Helena Kai explore this trend and has the details.
Digital calendars and mobile productivity tools become the norm for individuals. Some companies still invest in printed calendars and diaries as year-long branding and relationship-building tools. However, for some players in Ghana's printing industry, the digital shift is starting to bite. Some printing press operators, including one who gave his name as Grassstone, complain of having received no orders for calendars and diaries this year.
Our machines yeah, there's no job. There's no job. So in printing in this country now, yeah, sorry, it's not here alone. When you go around, it's like this place. So in terms of business, yeah, sorry. Formerly we print calendars, programs, and so on. But this time there's no this thing. You can see it yourself that we are not working. I'm not only printer here, but all my colleagues have gone out because there's no job.
Others such as David Ajay also report a sharp decline in production, a situation he says is affecting job and revenue within the sector.
Like before, let's say about some years back, about 3 years back, like this calendar, they will come for about thousands or 10,000s of it. But this year, they run only 500. You see, because the demand is down. So for sure, the technology is taking over, but still, they are in the business. You see, but the demand is small. For production, you know, we do self-production too. So if customers fail to come, we do personal production.
Brand communication strategist David Osabote said despite these challenges, printing still holds significant value. He explained that while digital tools are growing, physical branding materials remain powerful touchpoints that keep companies in the minds of customers.
A lot of organizations are still investing in printed diaries and other branded materials because it's a way of, number one, establishing the brand presence. It's a way of the brand establishing, you know, its presence, and then it's also a way of the brand saying, look, we have thought about you and we are giving you this branded item. It doesn't take away the conversation about the fact that some of these materials can be shared, you know, on other digital platforms. That's you know, it complements each other. You can't completely take away conversations around the printed materials or the conversation about traditional. You can't take it away because there's a conversation about digital. Then of course, if we look at this from a much more broader perspective, we need to even look at the structure of our market or the structure of our economy, and you realize that, you know, about 60 to 70% of our economy is largely traditional. Even the conversation about digital, how many, in terms of the size of our population, how many of them even understand digital and can make use of the digital calendars and whatsoever. So you need to strike a balance.
On the digital front, tech consultant and founder of Eagle Innovations, Winfred Cotton, believes the way forward lies in smart adoption. She noted that brands must harness the power of artificial intelligence and other digital tools to enhance productivity.
For businesses that are in the marketing, branding, or businesses that have primarily used the calendars as a way of promoting visibility, we can now ask that what additional sources of visibility, marketing, or enhancing productivity can they innovate around effective use of AI? Now we have AI that is scheduling work, that is improving productivity in terms of taking on a lot of other tasks. We have agentic AI now automating some workflows and producing results. How can the need for visibility, marketing, and branding be incorporated into that? I'll give a few ideas. So, for instance, if you have a chatbot which is using an AI for customer service or frequently asked questions for your business, can you design your marketing and branding to infuse, to add marketing and branding in that type of chatbot, so that if customers come into your platform and they need to talk to an AI agent, can they be seeing your brand re-echoed as they engage with that? And it's very simple to do that.
As Ghana's business landscape evolves, the calendar and diary printing market stands at a crossroad. While digital tools are reshaping planning, printing still offers brands lasting visibility, making innovation and adaptation key to the industry's survival. Reporting for Joy Business, I'm Helen Nakai.
And that's all for Prime Business with me, James Ish. And for more stories, log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.